there, welcome at the Introverted Business Experience. Here is Israel Gaudette. I don't know if I pronounced his name correctly because I'm not French Canadian, nor do I speak French,
Correct.
but I'm gonna let him introduce himself because it's quite a mouthful. Awesome.
Hi, my name is Israel Gaudette. I'm an affiliate marketer. I own also a SEO agency. Uh, and yeah, let's get started.
Such a humble introduction, I must say. For people who don't know him, um,
Well,
a lot of people in the affiliate scene they talk a lot of big game, but from Israel I've witnessed it my own hand. In fact, for a brief period I used to work with him. At the time I was also in the startup of a couple of my agencies, which caused me to not have that much time for it. But I can tell you that this guy works very organized and very result oriented in a way, even looking at things that nobody else would look the same way at. But we will cover that later on. For now, I want to hear about your story. Why niche websites? Like why affiliates? Like it's not the most, it's not the quickest cash, right? Like it takes a bit and it takes
that's
investment. Why affiliate marketing?
yeah, freedom. It's for the freedom, honestly. Before I'm starting to do affiliate marketing, I had a day job like everyone, and I would just start to serve customers, and so it's at that time that I decided to look for some way to make money online.
Yeah.
And of course, affiliate marketing has been always a hot topic on the web for making money online. So I just started to read some stuff until I get my first website started. At this When I started, I was still I had my full-time jobs, and it took me about 1 year and a half, almost 2 years, to leave my full-time jobs to go in affiliate marketing full-time. And I never go back. Once you are in this game, you just stay here. So
Yeah, I must say, like, you're quite open about your journey in general, while you're not
yeah.
necessarily bragging, like, you're a very humble person. Nonetheless, you share a lot about your results, right? Like, I've seen a lot of websites that you bought that crashed down and then you recovered
Yeah.
them. But what I do notice is when you talk about what you implement, like if you look at the current SEO scene, they often talk about a lot of micro perspectives, like let's say CTR, or CTR manipulation or entity stacking. That's something you're really big about. But yeah, sorry, my cat is being annoying. Uh,
I'm not doing any CTR manipulations. I think that thing is popular for local SEO more than international stuff. I did a lot of black hat in the past. Whatever we call it, white hat, black hat, in my opinion, it's all the same thing. But what I mean by there is I have tried a lot of shady tactics, and over time, I just moved to the white hat side, and I'm getting better result on the long term. I am a flipper, so I like to build to return my sites on the long term
yeah.
and flip them for a good amount of money. So for me, it's important to keep my websites clean. So I really focus a lot on the quality on everything. So quality backlinks, quality content. So I put a lot of money here because I want to increase value of the website in general and having a bigger multiple. Because when you flip all those type of stuff, investors are looking for this. You can just arrive with a site and ask for a big amount of money with really crappy content. It doesn't make sense. So that's part of my process. I'm meticulous on everything on the side.
And that was something I was going to mention. It's like a lot of SEOs, they focus on micro stuff. That's why we see a lot of rehashed strategies of 2010 strategies that I would say some are fallible. But nonetheless, like from you, except for entity stacking, most of the things you actually talk about are very macro based, right? Like content and backlinks. Sure, you do have a different way of looking at backlinks than most people, because that's actually something I took from you, something I found very valuable. Is you
Yeah.
don't really look necessarily like you don't ignore the backlink profile, but you also look at the traffic the certain websites have. Is that correct?
Yes, there's many things I'm looking at when I'm looking for a great backlinks. Top of the line, uh, if you want to get a great backlinks, you have to look at the top keywords for what the website is ranking. And if there is nothing that is like in the top content that is related with your target topics, it's just not a good backlink for you. So that's important to build links on website that are relevant to what you trying to rank. A lot of people say that backlinks relevance doesn't matter. It's totally. I'm not a believer of this. Probably it will work on the short term, but if you want to build something on the long term, topical relevance is super important everywhere in your content, in your backlinks, everywhere where you will use them. And that's why I'm big time in the entities because it's how Google works and it's how I think everyone should works as well because it's how the algorithms work. So that just makes sense to follow the same patterns.
Yeah, I like some of your recent posts on
Yeah.
entity stacking. You know, you also have a website called
Entity linking. Yeah.
yeah. So I love that one. Like I checked it out immediately. Um, yeah, I must say it all makes great sense. That's what I'm saying. Is I see a lot of people they talk about very micro-based things in the sense of they always have a fancy trick, but with you it doesn't seem to be like you actually have or are using any tricks. You just focus on the long-term strategy, backlinks, and great content, which I've seen myself. Right, like you have a
Yeah.
nice internal linking system, you create high-quality content, and the backlinks. Well, it all just fits together. But it's not like you're doing anything that like any trick to go around Google or anything specific. It's just the macros. I think that's very cool because it shows that because you're an amazing SEO and great at what you do, but you're not doing anything over the top in the sense of uh, the micro perspective of SEO.
Uh, I think to be a successful SEO, you really need to take the time to analyze the data and work with the data you have on. And for entities, it's not different. Uh, you have your content and you have to scan it to find the relevant entities. And in the same way that Google will do when it crawls your website. So it's just per logic. Uh, there's a lot of people that use extremely complex strategy to rank and light staking. It's something I don't do, but
Yeah,
I think it's over complex everything. But I think when you do something simple, it just works because the algorithm is not something that is that complex when you
yeah.
think about it. So it's just about being logic, being about relevancy, and the goal is big time in what topical authority, topical relevance, all that stuff, and it's how you can leverage your website. And if you use the same logic that Google is using in its algorithm, yeah, there's no reason for why you will not rank. Yeah.
Yeah. I would also say that by using an overcomplicated strategy, you're basically like it might work on one website, but what I learned from working briefly for you and analyzing what you do is that you're very scaling oriented. Like everything you do is easily replicatable to a different website, not that what you
Yeah.
do is necessarily easy, the system behind it makes it so that you can just deploy on a new website. I think wouldn't that be well partially the big reason behind your success is that you're a lot like you're able to just deploy websites, rank them because you have your systems in place. I think if you have too much checkboxes to mark, it becomes significantly harder and less cost efficient to hire a VA. To hire VAs.
That's the thing. When you are at a certain point, you want to be able to scale. And to be able to scale, you need to have a lot of employees. And if you don't have a simple system, it will just be a real challenge to be able to scale. So that's why I'm opting for simplicity at its
Yeah,
core, because it's easier for training staff, it's easier to scale, and it works. So why overcomplicating when simple stuff works? I
exactly.
don't say staking is bad. I'm not in that game. I did try it years ago, but I'm not in local stuff. I think it works on this, but it's not something I want to talk against because I don't have any experience on this.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
really bad at local SEO, and everyone say and know it. I'm a national international guy, so local SEO is another game, and I'm really not in this one. But for me, for ranking nationally, internationally, uh, the system I have put in place works amazingly, and I don't see why I would change. It's just in simple. It's just based on what Google
Yeah,
shown to us.
it's actually and that's something I see quite often is a lot of people when they start with SEO or yeah, excuse me, for people wondering what's going on. This one here, that's my cat. She is being quite
Hey.
annoying because she wants attention. For people listening and watching, that's Ruby. Um, but a lot of people they hire VAs and then it fails and then they will blame the VA and it, like I think it's partially have to do like if you look at my SOPs because I map everything out step by step. um, they are ridiculously easy. You know, they are so
Yeah,
to the point where it goes like click here, click there. And the main reason is the more simplistic it is, the less they need me to guide them. You know, if you
exactly.
provide quality training and keep your like I run local SEO agencies because I find it more scalable on my end. But my processes are so to the point where well, I don't need to guide them. It's all in there.
Yeah,
Of course, I still do quality checking and stuff like
yeah.
that. But my time doing that is cut down severely because if you spend time on your training, then yeah, well, your result.
That's the best time investment you can do. Holloway. I think it's like 2 years ago. I took I think 6 or 7 months full times almost. I have created over 100 training video, and I have created a massive soaps for my team. And over time, I always create new video. I think just the past week I have created probably 15 videos. I just never stop. I think the training videos are the best time investment you can put in your business because it's all you can scale. If you don't have time to do something, create a video, take 1 hour, 2 hours to create them, and then send to an employee and delegate. I think
Exactly.
it's if you want to scale and make money in life, you have to delegate. It's just how it should work. And
Exactly.
simplest yeah, so simple video is the key here if you want to be able to scale because over complex stuff, you will like you just say you will just have questions from your staff and you
Yeah.
will guide them over and over and you will at the hands was more time guiding your staff than doing what you should focus on, which is building increasing your business growth. So
No, I
that's
think
important.
yeah, I think that that's where you excel at. It's actually like after I worked with you and I briefly had this really um, I was working together with a guy, still an amazing guy, um, but we briefly had this point where we were just packed over our head with work and I'm the kind of guy I think SEO is very easy.
Yeah.
In the sense of you don't need to know SEO to the extent where you could consider yourself an expert in order to rank. You can rank a website without being able to do all the fancy stuff. That's great, but it's knowing how to analyze data and
Yeah.
translating that data into an actionable strategy is what separates expert from a beginner. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
we were so over our heads, despite SEO being quite easy. Um, that I just figured, if you just cut down your workflow into pieces and you hire people for a specific part of that process, like I have
Yeah.
multiple roadmaps. One takes care of roadmap one takes care of roadmap two. Once you work that structure, then the you won't get mad at your employees. You won't have such a thing as bad VAs. The only kind of bad VAs you will face
Yeah.
are those not willing to put in time. I think it's like you said, training videos or SOPs in general are the best investment you can
Oh
make.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And well, they are free, except time wise, but they are
Yeah.
so amazing. Like you can start
The
outsourcing.
money you will save with your training video would just be so much worth and valuable.
Exactly.
It's yeah.
Now about outsourcing, where do you find your VAs? Like, do you search on online jobs or things
Yeah,
specific?
yeah, I'm a big fan of the Philippines for all sorts of things. All my staff is there. I have tried different locations, Kenya, India, but I always go back to Philippines. I think overall, the quality, their English is better as well too. There's many things. For me, the most important thing is loyalty because I don't like hearing. So when I hear, I'm straight from the start. I want to know if they are here for the long term. The long term. I look at their CV, curriculum vitae, how many times they last their precedent jobs. For me, it's important to keep someone for years. I don't want to rehire later and start again the training. Yes, I have trainings to do, but still at the interview now I have someone that does for me, but it's still time consuming. And
Yeah,
so for me, Philippines has been a great where I got really good results over the long term working with those guys. And yeah, that's my favorite place. Online job is a great place. It's where I have started to hear, uh, but over time I realized that it was just better to hear the friends of my employees.
yeah,
Because first I don't have to search on online job because most of the time those guys change job like the change of shoes. But uh, when you ask you what are your staff, okay, do you have a friend that is looking for a job? But this staff can vouch for it. So
yeah,
you already have someone that trusts this employee. So I think by the way, I did this for the past 2 years. I only earrings friends of friends, and now I have really good result doing this. But of course, to start on a job is I think the best place to hear for uh, in the Philippines at a good cost because there are some Facebook group, but I think most of them are just crazy, like they doesn't have any experience and charge
yeah.
$10 early. That doesn't make sense. So uh, yeah, I think online job is a good starter point.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing actually.
Yeah,
I asked a friend, Jair, if you're watching, thank you by the way. Um, he introduced me this guy. I trained him. We had our ups and downs, of course, because I was still figuring out how to train people. But ever since then, like I tried online jobs and there's amazing people on there, but I
yeah,
find that people like it's like you say, you need loyalty. Like I don't want to spend all my
yeah,
time hiring people back.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this guy, like he brought on three other people, then it just keeps going. Like he identifies. That's the cool thing about him, by the way. Saif is Saif Rahman. For the people wondering, I will actually link his profile. He identifies flaws in my strategy. So he is constantly learning too. And if he sees a flaw in the strategy, he's like, Brent, we actually need this. I have tested this. And then he will start like looking for people in his surroundings that he can um, get me to hire so that we can start implementing that,
hmm
but not without showing me that the actual implementation works. So yeah, I'm all for hiring from all for hiring friends actually, because I think it's easier, there's less hustle, and yeah, in general, it's less time consuming as well. So yeah, I would think that's That
Yeah,
doesn't discount, like I will still say for people watching, like online jobs is amazing. Noah Lopato
yeah.
send it to me. It's amazing. I'm just not a big fan of it because I have certain standards when hiring that I do not feel like I've met them on online jobs, but I still think it's a viable tool. It's just not my thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say is the most difficult thing to outsource in your, well, like you're doing a couple of things right now, right? Like you're link building, I believe. Um, SEO
No,
agency, no?
no, because for link building, I have really a specific uh, system that I have take years to build. So it's I have multiple staff and they have all their own tasks. So it's going good. Uh, I think honestly the biggest challenge is the writers.
Yeah,
Quality content is so hard to find.
definitely.
After that, you have to fight with some writers that try to cheat with AI and uh, so yeah, I think the biggest challenge is to find good content writers. Uh, for the rest, multitask. I have so many trainings, to be honest, that make this pretty easy for any employees to do specific tasks. And the way I have structures all my training videos are by topics, by tasks. So it's super well organized. I have put so much time on this. So uh, yeah, I think the biggest challenge for me is finding quality content writers. But for the rest, it's straightforward for me because I have a system in place. So
Um,
that's why it's high important to take time to build a system for its business
exactly.
because every business is different and there is no universal things that you can just take on the internet as oh, that would be my system. No, you need one built for your own uh, uh, use and
Exactly.
the time it takes is really worth it to put this time because on the long term you will really benefit from it so, for sure.
No, exactly. I totally agree. I think it's a lot of people would like some copy paste things they can implement. But
Yeah,
as a business, if you look to work, like if you like, it's really cool if you make 20K a month and stuff like that, and that's great. But if you look to book those results or even more on a long-term basis, and you want to keep doing this on a long-term basis without actually burning out, then you need systems in place tweaked for your
yeah.
own needs. You know?
If you look at some agencies that sells the one that most of the time get the higher price, most of the investor that buy the agency place that buy the business, whatever it's an agency or just a business, most of the time they will be ready to pay a premium price just to get the system
Yeah.
because they know they have been able to scale with that system. So the system sometimes is more valuable than the customer base. So the system is something that should be a priority for every business owners that you just build niche site or you have your home SEO agency, whatever you have, you need a system. And that's one of the best time investment you can put in your business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally agree. I see this a lot actually with lead generation, especially because I
Yeah.
work from agency perspectives. Although I do
Mhm.
have some affiliate websites, I'm not the kind of guy who is very vocal about his work because I'm doing a lot of other things right now. But if we're looking at it from an agency perspective, then I think a lot of beginning, whether it's freelancers or agencies, they see these courses and most of the courses are actually great on lead generation, but they think, all right, this looks awesome. I'm going to implement it. And then it
Yeah.
doesn't work. Yeah, but you're not doing the actual you're not putting in the effort to know what industry you're targeting, and you're not putting in the effort like, does it actually work for your niche? Does it work for your business? Do you have the capacity to set that up and all that kind of stuff? So I think, yeah, it's often people, they refuse to put in the effort to put together their own system, and that's a big fallacy because I think,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the best investments, like you said.
Having your own system give you a big advantage over your competitors for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let's say if somebody starts with an affiliate website, they aren't
Yeah.
that huge on budget. what would be the first thing you would recommend them to outsource?
Uh, if if you remember, I have created an article about the truth behind
Yeah. Yes.
the affiliate marketplace, and uh, I did not want it to be too much negative
Yeah.
in this article, but I needed to say the truth in this. And affiliate marketing is not an easy stuff. I mean, it's not that it's not easy. It's just that it's costly. It's
Yeah.
more the terms I wanted to say. Uh, when I started, uh, everything was cheap. Okay. The inflation we had with in the past years have been crazy. So
Yeah.
what you was paying in the past is like 5 to 10s more expensive now. Backlinks are more expensive. Content is crazy expensive now. Everything is more expensive. So when I started, it was easy to rank with low quality backlinks. I remember when I started, like 10 years ago, I hired an Indian SEO agency. I did not even know SEO. And I started to rank and make money. So it was easy. Try to do this today. No, you will never rank with directory links for links and that type of stuff. So uh, 2 days with current conditions to rank, you need budget. You really need money. So if I can tell something on this, if you, I, I'm really all in on affiliate stuff, but you need to be prepared to inject money on the table. Yes, you can for the the black hat stuff like going with age generated backlinks, cheap PBN. Yeah, that could works and make you money somehow. But if you want to take the same routes as me and do the website flipping, which is for me, honestly, the best way to make money with affiliate marketing because you make so much money in one shot that so you can scale and really change your life completely doing this strategy. But if you just start and you just need some extra money, of course you can take a lot of methods to rank with some black hat stuff, and those are throw too much money on the table. But if you want to make it the right way, it's costly,
Yeah.
really costly.
No, I remember that article, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's one thing to create a 100 a month website. It's another thing to create a 10K a month website. Um, Now I'm lucky because in Belgium, like if I build websites, I make them in Belgium because competition here, regardless of
yeah,
the
it's
amount of
probably
SEOs,
low.
yeah, like you still
Yeah.
get away with a lot of stuff. Not really gonna say all the stuff I get away with because some of it isn't something that I'm comfortable talking about in public. But I can tell you that Belgium still allows you to make a big buck without
Okay.
really following the rules. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if you are a beginner, I would recommend you instead of starting with affiliate marketing or an agency, is try some things out, like find people who are successful at it, like yourself, and then offer them to work for them for a very low price so that you can test the craft and learn something about it and figure out if it's something for you. Because I think way too many people are focusing on the money aspect, but it's a long road, and if you're gonna
Yeah.
be in it, eventually the money will not matter as much as it did in the beginning. Sure, it still matters, but Andrew Sterling actually made a very good point in a pre-recorded podcast, and he said that there was this psychological study that said that after people earn a certain amount, um, the happiness they get from money start diminishing to actually having a worse return after that. So I mean, eventually, if you're just in it for the money, I think it's better to actually test the markets you want to start in, regardless of your budget, and figure out if it's actually your passion. Because you have to do it for a long time. The same as you said, like it took you 2 years to actually get going full time um, in affiliate marketing, and I can bet that you were grinding hard during those 2 years. It's
Mhm.
requires persistence. Like you have to be persistent, you have to be
Yeah.
disciplined, and unless you really
Discipline.
like what you're
Yeah.
doing, you know, it becomes very difficult. Yeah, I think it's better
Sure.
to actually test the markets.
Now, yeah, I feel like you just say you need really persistence and discipline. And I think it's why most people just stop trying
Yeah,
because they try one, two, three times before having success, and they just say, okay, it's shit. It's just what you see on the internet. It's just bullshit. Nobody make money with that, which is a big lie because I know a lot of affiliate and they
mm,
are really comfortable from money point of view. But like you just say, you need patience. Even today, it's been a lot of time I'm doing this, and it's happened that I inject 20, 30,000 dollars on a project and the niche just don't work.
yeah,
It's part of the job. It's part of the game. So you can't always win every time. So yeah, you need to be persistent and disciplined and just uh never just always keep up and always try. And over time, you will be successful. But it needs discipline. And if you don't have money to lose, it's something that's a bit harder because it's costly and you still need to be able to eat like everyone. So uh, you need some discipline here to manage your money because money management is a big part of this. I have covered this in my article on the truth about this. The problem with affiliate marketing is you can make a lot of money and you can be like 1 year that you drop the 70% of your incomes. So now, okay, what's happened if you don't have any backup money in your bank account? So if you get a lifestyle like crazy, you spend 30,000 per month because you are making 50,000 per month, and then you don't have any backups, and an algorithm update happens. What you do? Your lifestyle is based on this, which is a big mistake that a lot of people are doing. I remember in 2020, the big affiliate update that happened. How many
yeah,
affiliate marketer has just died right there? It's okay. They had just closed business because they were making so much money before the update, and then it killed like 70% of all affiliate website. And people was, oh, what I do now? I don't have money to start over. What's happened, right? So money management is crucial if you want to be an affiliate marketer. And I think it's lots of things that people don't really care about. And anyway, it should be in every business, not just affiliate marketing. Any business should just have a good money management plan
yeah. It
to
was
play the
actually
safeguard.
was a very interesting post about you, which I found something that nobody in this industry talks about. Literally nobody. So I was very flabbergasted that you actually mentioned it. Is company structure, and the way you showed it was actually by
Yeah,
the holdings company and your actual company that you make the money under, right? And I
yeah.
thought that is so important, but nobody is covering it.
Really? Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, that they are in it for the quick buck and making money is really cool. It's about
That
sustaining that
that
money.
That's important. It's another thing that people don't think about. It's protecting yourself. And in the affiliate marketing line, we deal with fake persona. Okay. So we want to protect our websites from being stealing or whatever. So we don't use our names attached to our projects. So for this, we build fake persona. But you never know. You can have a website in the health niche and you get a lawsuit for providing false information on, let's say,
Yeah,
a news site, something like that, that you run on Arrow. How many people are running a rules campaign and just publish information without being a real expert?
yeah,
But somehow it could get back in your face any day. And if you have a lawsuit or whatever, you have to protect yourself. And what I have mentioned in this post is having an holding company to store your money is the safe bet, and just like keep a specific amount of money in the company, the corporation where you run the affiliate business, and try to get this separately just to play safe. So if there's a lawsuit, you just can bankrupt the company, start a new one, and start over, and everyone is protected. Uh, that's what is important because you as your identity need to be protected as well because if you everything is in the company, you can be impacted with this as well. So yeah, there's many things that you need to know, but it's I think it's their experience that is that just show those things because like you say nobody is talking about but most of affiliates have a system like this.
Yeah.
I mean affiliates that does this for years because they have learned some things or so but yeah, that's another thing that is important to consider is having a good company structure and also for tax purpose. Uh, so there's many things. I see sometimes affiliate marketers that run their business on their name instead to have a corporations. It's a terrible idea because if your site is jumping in revenue, you will be taxed like crazy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a corporation has less tax rate. So yeah, there's a lot of things like this that can be taken care to avoid any
Yeah.
potential issues.
I think, at a certain point, you have to start looking at, like, most people don't know this. And if you're a beginning freelancer, then that's great. But eventually, you'll have to start, like, the more money you make, the more tax you pay. So you'll have to
Yeah,
find your own way. Well, I'm not going to say around it, but you have to find your own way to minimize that. And
yeah,
sure, there's tax deduction and stuff, but the way you structure your company actually matters a lot. You know, and
yeah,
that's why people give themselves salaries. That's why you give yourself a salary because then that salary is taxed, at least in Belgium. So having a good company structure is absolutely essential if you're aiming long-term game. I totally agree
yeah,
with you. It's something that, like, I think courses should actually mention, because that's that's really important. But I understand why they don't, in the sense of most people are investing in courses, they don't make the money. It's not because the course actually sucks. I think there are great ones out there. It's the passion thing, it's people
yeah,
try. Um, but yeah, I mean, everybody sees the big picture when they're feeling good and they're seeing the $1 million, everybody is
yeah,
feeling good then. But taking that loss, like you said, investing 20K in a project that just flops doesn't work.
yeah,
That
yeah,
takes guts, to keep going. That takes
yeah,
discipline because you will be fucking demotivated at that point. That is
yeah,
just a true thing, you know. But that's where discipline kicks in, is the ability to keep going. I think that's so important to love what you do, because otherwise taking those hits, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
yeah, correct.
Um, is there anything big you're working on now that you could share in the public?
That not kosher? No. Yeah, I have big projects. But I, but I think it's not secret. I have a few
Yeah.
softwares that are I am building SES. But if we are talking about affiliate business, it's something I'm not really open to discuss. It's the number rule. The rule number one for affiliate marketer is do not disclose your sites.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And
yeah,
actually, the main reason why I don't mention any of my income channels, it's
yeah,
not just for the private stuff, because people start acting weird with money, but it's also that I don't like people peeking in into my stuff. It's not that I have anything to hide, but you
yeah,
can't trust everybody out there. William Jones, even recently he posted something about a guy that worked with him that eventually went after his customers. Now I don't fear for that because my customers are freaking amazing, but
yeah.
yeah, I get where that's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like talking about my websites or even my revenue. I did an interview recently that will be published soon, and we asked me the question many times, how much you made?
Yeah.
It's not public thing. I think it's a personal thing, and there's guru. Okay, I call them gurus because they like bragging, money, and all this stuff. I'm not. I'm not this guy. I'm comfortable, right? But I'm not the guy that will say that I did that specific amount of money.
Yeah.
And when I'm sharing stuff on my social media, it's mostly informative stuff and not things like trying to get the hype and just saying bullshit about you can make millions, buy my course. I don't have any course because I'm not really here to make money with my audience. I like to help and I just doing by passions because I really like SEO and affiliate stuff. But no, it's disclosing my website or just talking about money is not something I'm really comfortable
Oh, I
to talk with
totally
someone.
totally
Yeah.
get that. And for the people listening, we've been mentioning this article on affiliate marketing. I will put that in the description as well as his entity checker and some other interesting things that I think you should actually follow. Because obviously, if you do not know Israel, you should actually be following him if you're interested in, well, in general SEO. Because I would say you generally give a lot of nuggets, not just affiliate marketing wise. You know, like in
Uh,
general, you share a lot of useful information. And as an SEO business owner, you also have to be curious enough to learn. So if you're very curious, which you should be, follow Israel. You know, like it's absolutely a necessity because he shares fucking quality. Like,
Thanks.
um,
I'm trying.
yeah. We're running out of time right now, but I do want to
Yeah.
thank you very, very much so because it means the world to me. You've not like you've told me that you don't usually do podcasts. Well, thank you for at least
That's the
making.
first time. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's because it was you.
that means a lot to me. I hope you at least had a good time. And of course, you know, I fucking loved it. Like knowing more about your story, that's amazing. For people who do not know this or if it wasn't clear, um, Israel briefly was an official mentor for me in the sense of I worked under him and I saw how he did systems. I started implementing that. And I believe I told you this when we were working together, how quickly that my results were changing. So his stuff actually works. And it's not because he is using over complex systems, it's because he's using simplistic systems that are
Yeah.
scalable and easy to use. So if you can take anything from this podcast, then I hope that it is that you need an active system that you can easily replicate, you know, like something that you can easily use to train your people and scale your business. Don't go for the over complex things. It looks really cool. And if it makes you money, that's great. Long term is often in simplicity, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So that should be something you're investing in. Before I end, is there some plug you want to do? Something that people can learn about you, follow you, anything like that?
Sorry, can you just repeat? I did not.
Before we go, yeah, excuse me, my cat is again for people. This one, yeah, she's quite annoying, but beautiful nonetheless. Um,
Yeah.
for people listening, is there anything that you want to share that they should follow, or something interesting that you're coming out with that they definitely should know about, or any information they can contact you about it to learn from you?
Uh, well, if I could just say something, I think for the people that follow me on social media, see all my posts on entities, typical relevance, I would just say take the time to learn what it is because it really make a big difference for me. Uh, and if you want to start doing affiliate marketing, uh, just never just always keep up, and over time you will succeed. It's just a matter of time, and tries and errors is part of the game. So good luck if you want to start. You won't regret if you arrive to make money with affiliate marketing. It's the best life you can get. Freedom is has no price.
Awesome, awesome. Again, it means the world to me, and I can't wait to put this online. This is it has been very interesting. Thank you so much, and I hope you
Okay.
enjoyed it.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh boy.